One of the most beautiful cities in Rajasthan, Udaipur. It's been known for its huge tourist potential. But unfortunately, Udaipur has recently been in the news for the wrong reasons. A horrific crime that catapulted it into the national headlines. Well, what do local people feel about it? I have with me some people who are with the hotel associations in Udaipur. Yashwardhan Ranawat, who is the joint secretary of the hotel association of this walled city area, actually where the maximum number of tourists come in. Yashwardhan ji, somebody makes a social media post on Nupur Sharma. He gets threats. He complains to the police, and then he is murdered in that absolutely grotesque, horrible way. But you know what happened? What was the immediate fallout in Udaipur in terms of business, in terms of cancellations? What was the reaction?
The business has completely slowed down. There have been many cancellations for this week and further. There are no further bookings. You don't see many tourists in the city. Everybody is very doubtful, very skeptical of coming to Udaipur at the moment, and this has had a big socio-economic impact on the city.
But I mean, Udaipur is a city which has round the year tourism, right? So even though we are still in summer, I mean, you still were getting a lot of tourists coming in because it's so beautiful, and actually it's quite cool outside also.
Yes, it is indeed very cool, very pleasant. It's a beautiful city, very peaceful most times. This is one of the rare incidents that has happened here. And this has not only changed things from the perspective of this city, but from the perspective of Rajasthan. And it is a huge impact for the country also, because this seems to be a knock on the door of India that there is terrorism around. There is a knock. There is a knock on the doors of the country that terrorism has entered. Now take precaution, be vigilant, be on your toes, and figure out what is happening around, and be very, very, very helpful to the government authorities, to people who are in charge.
Okay. So, but you know, interestingly, if Pawan can just show behind me, there are lots of little hotels, you know, and this area, what is so charming about Udaipur is, you know, there's little hotels in people's old havelis that are very, very attractive to tourists, to the budget traveler. You know, it can meet every kind of pocket. And I have with me Kamlesh Jain ji. Kamlesh ji has been running a hotel in Lalghat for many years. Kamlesh ji, इस टाइप का जो अभी यहाँ पर हम देख रहे हैं माहौल, तो छोटा व्यवसाय है, वो बुरी तरह से प्रभावित हुआ है.
It's completely stopped everything. So many bookings already cancelled, and some tourists coming for the further next month, they also not have a plan to come Udaipur.
Okay. Kamlesh, you have lived in Lalghat for many years. You know, there was not so much animosity, Hindu-Muslim animosity. Now on the streets, we are seeing a lot of that polarization. You know, एक जो सांप्रदायिक सद्भाव है, उसको लेकर एक दरारें आ रही हैं. क्या आपको वो लगता है, या आपको लगता है कि नहीं, ये एक पासिंग चीज है, आगे लोग भूल जाएंगे इसको?
नहीं, भूलेंगे तो नहीं, कुछ इम्पैक्ट तो कर ही रहा है सभी उदयपुर लोकलाइट्स को. Long time ago, we are living each other together. There's nothing happened. But now, what's instant going on right now, it's horrible. Even we can't see each other right now. This is the impact we feel right now.
So the kind of discord, disharmony, and like Kamlesh ji is saying that, you know, people living together as neighbors, but now that kind of distrust and animosity has come in. Shakti Singh ji, आपको ये लगता है कि इस तरह से जो यहाँ पर, क्योंकि लालघाट में गलियाँ छोटी-छोटी हैं, लोग पास रहते हैं, और ये एक टूरिज्म का हब है, और यहाँ पर you know, अगर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की प्रॉब्लम हो गई, तो क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा टूरिज्म पे? और कहीं आपको लग रहा है ऑन ग्राउंड, आपको ये लगता है कि सद्भाव में कुछ दरारें आई हैं?
सद्भाव में दरारें तो आएगी, जिस हिसाब से ये कृत्य हुआ है और जिस हिसाब से उस आदमी का किया है, उससे पब्लिक में एक डर सा माहौल हो गया है. तो आमने सामने देखने में भी आदमी को एक डर लगता है, जो क्योंकि किसी के मन में घुस के कौन क्या कर रहा है, वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड. और टूरिस्ट है, टूरिस्ट सबसे पहले अपनी सेफ्टी, जब घूमने आता है तो अपनी सेफ्टी को सबसे पहले देखता है. और उस सेफ्टी में ये है कि आदमी के इन गलियों में कल कुछ हो गया या रात को कुछ हो गया, तो हु विल, हमें कौन हेल्प करेगा उस चीज के लिए. और जिस हिसाब से लालघाट एक बहुत ही जाना माना वर्ल्ड में अच्छा नाम किया हुआ है, और यहाँ दोनों कम्युनिटी साथ रहती है, तो कोई भी आता है तो एक संशय की नजर से हो ना हो, लेकिन देखता तो है ही.
Well, the first impact that this has had is on tourism in Udaipur. And just to give you a sense of how beautiful this is, let's end this on a note where you can see that beautiful city palace there, and of course the famous Lake Pichola, which is probably what makes Udaipur the picture postcard destination that it is. So preparations for the Rath Yatra underway in Udaipur, and I have with me Mr. M.N. Dinesh. He's been SP in Udaipur and sent down specially from the police headquarters to help bring the situation back to normal. I think that seems to be the aim of the state government. You have been speaking to community leaders. What is the feeling that you're getting? What are people saying? I think they're keen to take out the Yatra. And at the same time, I heard you talking to them. See, there are people here who are business people. This is a tourist city. So can you give us a sense of what is happening on the ground? And of course, the next question will be about what the police and the administration is doing.
Actually, both the communities, they want peace to return, and just because of one or two individuals, the peace and the unity of the city should not be disturbed. This is the feeling of everybody. Yesterday we held meetings of both organizations, Hindu and Muslim organizations, and all the leaders, they were of opinion, and even the Muslim organizations, they condemned the killing also. Even some of them want to help the complainant's family also. And even the Hindu organizations, they want the city to be back to be normal. Because ultimately it is a tourist city. The economy of the city depends mainly on the tourists. You see all these streets, it's all vacant. Otherwise in a tourist season, you won't have even find to put your foot down here.
So quickly, can I ask him also, since you talked about tourism, आपने भी अभी बता रहे थे आप एमएन दिनेश साहब को, आप लोग क्या चाहते हैं?
मैडम, डेफिनेटली हर आदमी यही चाहता है कि शांति और अमन रहे. अगर शांति रहेंगे तो हम भी धंधा कर सकेंगे और लोग भी कर सकेंगे. तो हम तो भगवान से ही प्रार्थना करते हैं शांति रहे. और आज हमारे जो विशाल रथ यात्रा, हम सबसे यही निवेदन कर रहे हैं, अपने शांति से निकालनी और भगवान के मगन में निकालनी.
आप बताइए, पहली बार ऐसी कोई घटना हुआ है तो लोग उदयपुर के एक तरह से हिल भी गए.
काफी चोट लगी दिलों में तो लोगों के इस घटना से. बड़ी घटना है हमारे लिए. तो पहली बार ऐसा घटना हमारे पूरे भारत में सुनने को मिली है. ऐसी घटना होनी भी नहीं चाहिए.
But from the police point of view, of course, very quick action has been taken. But this kind of sense of insecurity, what is being done to address that, and what is being done to address that today's event goes off peacefully?
One, we have been assuring the community, and then we are identifying all the mischief mongers from both the communities, and we are detaining some of them. We are booking them under whatever relevant sections. And then apart from that, we have the mobile patrolling and the pickets at the sensitive spots have been strengthened. And today almost we have doubled the Japta. Almost it used to be 700-800 people earlier. This time we almost put 2,000 people, and we have involved about 6 to 7 IPS officers. And all the officers have been handpicked. All the inspectors, additional SPs, DYSPs who worked here earlier, and we have good hold on the community, both communities, and who have presence in the city. They have been picked, and they have been picked at the right spots. And even till the constable, mind has been applied where they should be placed. And we are speaking to the community. You can see here everybody wants a peaceful city. Nobody wants the disturbance to continue, because if this continues for around 4-5 days, then this season will go. The whole season will be washed away.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. So people here from speaking to M.N. Dinesh, who is telling us exactly how they are planning that the yatra should go off peacefully. The underlying the sentiment underlying coming from there, that people don't want, ultimately at the end of the day, there may be some dissension, there may be discord, but ultimately people, the ordinary man, wants to have his business, go about his business, and the sooner things return to peace and normalcy, that's what Udaipur is hoping for. After all, it's a tourist city, it's the famous city of lakes. We are here where Friday prayers are being held, and of course there is a sense of insecurity. But what do people feel? भैया ऐसा कुछ हुआ है यहाँ पे हादसा, तो लोग, आम जनता क्या चाहती है और क्या मैसेज आप देना चाहते हैं?
यहाँ से कोई शांति है, हमारी शांति बना रखे, हमारे यहाँ कोई माहौल अच्छा बना रखा हमने. हमारी तरफ से कोई घटना होने वाली है, सब शांतिपूर्ण माहौल हमारी तरफ.
और कितने सालों से आप लोग सब यहाँ पर रह रहे हैं, कभी ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं है?
यहाँ से 50 साल से हम माहौल अच्छा है, सब मिलजुल के रहते हैं. हमारे और दोस्त लोग भी है, सबसे बातचीत होती है, और सब शांति चाहिए हमारा. हाँ सर, जी नमाज पढ़ जा रहे हैं घर. हाँ सर, नमाज खत्म होगी, बात करके जा रहे हैं. हम शांति चाहते हैं, माहौल का कुछ नहीं है. ये कह के हम इधर सबको घरों में भेज दिया, बच्चों को सबको कह दिया, बाकी नमाज घर में जाके पढ़े और ना कोई भीड़ भाड़ ना करे, अपने घरों में आराम से बैठे रहें.
उदयपुर दूसरा जो उदयपुर शहर है टूरिज्म का शहर है, पर्यटन से काफी लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, तो उसमें आपका क्या कहना है? सब लोग कह रहे हैं कि भाई हमारा व्यवसाय को भी हम व्यवसाय भी अपना करना चाहते हैं।
जी जी, शांति रहनी चाहिए मैडम, और माहौल अच्छा ही रहना चाहिए, शांति होनी चाहिए। और सभी लोग दुखी हो गए हैं, खाने पीने की से लेके परेशानी हो रही है, दूध पानी सब्जी से भी परेशानी हो रही है, और सभी को ये बात समझनी चाहिए और अपने अपने घरों में बैठना चाहिए, शांति बनाए रखनी चाहिए।
भैया आप लोग का क्या कहना है, जो ये पूरा मसला हुआ है, आप लोग उदयपुर में क्या चाहते हैं?
शांति चाहते हैं, सभी लोग शांति चाहते हैं, शांति से रहे सब, हिंदू और मुसलमान शांति से रहे, भाईचारे से रहे सब।
जी भैया,
सब यही चाहते हैं।
आप वैसे क्या व्यवसाय से जुड़े हुए हैं? जैसे काफी लोग पर्यटन से भी जुड़े हुए हैं, तो उनके भी मतलब आजीविका में, जैसे अभी सैटरडे संडे था, काफी टूरिस्ट आने वाले थे लेकिन अब नहीं आए हैं, कैंसिलेशन हो गया, बुकिंग्स नहीं है, होटल खाली पड़ी है।
अब इसके लिए क्या कह सकते हैं कि अब सब अमन सुकून से रहे, यही चाहते हैं हम तो बस।
और जो ये पूरी उसका हुआ, क्या आप लोग उसका खंडन करते हैं जो पूरा कुछ हुआ है?
खंडन करते।
So clearly a sense of insecurity here, definitely in Udaipur. People are a little scared to come out and speak, but largely the refrain does seem to be that there should be peace, and there is of course, like we are saying, Friday prayers. The police in fact lagawing a gasht here to see that everything is peaceful and not taking any chances for this for what had happened earlier. In Udaipur, Harsha Kumari Singh for NDTV.